Welcome back to my channel. The courtroom falls into a silence so heavy it feels alive. Every breath, every heartbeat seems to echo off the walls. Then, Christine rises, slowly, deliberately. She locks eyes with Robyn and speaks 6 words that slice through the air like glass. "I know what you did to Garrison." Gasps erupt. Cody's face drains of color. Robyn stumbles back into her chair, clutching the table for balance. The judge slams the gavel, but the damage is already done. Christine's words have detonated the truth. This isn't another sister-wives argument. This is war. The kind that ends families and exposes every buried secret. Even the air feels charged. The sunlight filters through the dusty courtroom windows like judgment itself. Christine sits down slowly, gripping a faded photograph of Garrison, smiling, young, innocent. That photo, that memory, will soon become her weapon. Across the room, Robyn can't even lift her head. She dabs her eyes, trembling. Cody sits behind her, his arms crossed, his jaw locked tight. But you can see it in his eyes. He's terrified of what's about to be revealed. Christine's lawyer stands tall. "Your Honor," he begins, voice steady, "this case isn't about family squabbles or reality television. It's about a legal promise, an inheritance meant for the Brown children, and how that promise was betrayed." He holds up a document. "One signature changed everything." The judge nods. "Proceed." Christine rises again. Her voice doesn't tremble. "Garrison left us too soon. But before he died, my mother created a fund, divided equally among all 5 children." She holds up another paper. "This," she says, "is what Robyn filed 6 months after Garrison's passing." The courtroom leans in. 2 names are missing, Garrison and Gabriel. "And the shares of Robyn's children?" "Doubled." The judge frowns. "Are you alleging forgery?" Christine shakes her head. "Not forgery, fraud, and I have witnesses." A murmur ripples through the room. "Sometimes," Christine adds, her voice cutting through the noise, "the worst betrayals wear the most familiar faces." The judge gestures. "Call your witness." Christine turns to the gallery. "Mykelti." The doors open, and Mykelti Brown steps in. She walks with purpose, refusing to look at her father or Robyn. Her heels strike the floor like thunder. "You do solemnly swear to tell the truth?" "I do." Then looking directly at Robyn, she says, "I was there the night you convinced Dad to change the trust." Robyn gasps. "That's not true. Let her speak," the judge orders. Mykelti's voice is steady. "I overheard them after dinner. Robyn said, 'Why should money go to kids who don't even talk to you anymore?' And Dad said, 'You're right. They wouldn't appreciate it anyway.'" Christine's lawyer steps in. "Did Robyn name who she wanted removed?" "Yes, Garrison and Gabriel." The gallery goes still. Cody stands abruptly. "I never said that." "Sit down, Mr. Brown," the judge snaps. Then comes the moment that silences even the cameras. Christine pulls out a folded letter. "This," she whispers, "was written by Garrison 2 months before he died." She reads aloud. "Mom, if anything happens to me, I want my share to go to Gabe. Don't let Dad decide where it goes. He doesn't see us anymore. He doesn't know us." Christine's voice cracks. The room is still again. Even Robyn's attorney looks pale. The judge leans forward. "Mrs. Brown," she says to Robyn, "did you or did you not change the trust?" Robyn doesn't answer. Her silence is louder than denial. Then Christine's lawyer plays one final piece of evidence, a voicemail. Robyn's voice fills the courtroom. "Mykelti, stop digging. You don't know what your mom's done. That money was meant for my kids too. We're the only ones who've stayed loyal." The judge's expression hardens. Christine's attorney steps forward. "This voicemail proves intent to redirect funds meant for Garrison and Gabriel." Robyn's hands tremble. She looks broken, cornered. Then Christine says, barely above a whisper, but the whole room hears it, "Aurora." The name freezes Robyn in place. Because she knows what comes next. Because she knows what comes next. The silence in the courtroom feels almost sacred, heavy, humming, alive with everything that's about to break. Christine's attorney doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't need to. He simply says she's agreed to testify. The words ripple through the air like a cold wind. The judge glances toward the bailiff. "Bring her in." The door creaks open, and in that instant, Robyn's entire world stops. Her lips part. Her body stiffens. She turns toward Cody, eyes wide, silently begging him to stop this, to intervene, to protect her. But Cody, it stays still. His hands are clenched. His face is stone. He doesn't move. He doesn't speak. Christine exhales slowly and flips the photo of Garrison face down on the table, like closing the lid on a memory that still burns. Her voice, low and steady, slices through the tension. You can erase names on paper, but you can't erase what he knew. And now the truth has a voice. And her name is Aurora. The gallery holds its breath as Aurora steps through the doorway. She looks like someone walking through fog, like she's crossing the threshold between two worlds, the one she was raised in and the one built on lies. Robyn half stands, whispering in desperation, "Aurora, please, look at me." But Aurora doesn't. The clerk steps forward. "State your name for the record." Her voice trembles, barely audible. "Aurora Brown." The air shifts. You can feel the tension crawling up the walls, the sound of every camera repositioning, every breath held in the gallery. Christine's attorney stands slowly, calm, deliberate. There's no aggression now, only gravity. "Aurora," he says softly, "were you in the house when the new trust documents were signed?" A pause. Then, "Yes." His tone stays gentle. "Who was present?" Aurora hesitates. "Mom, Dad, and Gabriel wasn't there." The attorney lets the silence do the work. Heavy, pressing, relentless. "Aurora," he continues, "did you hear any discussion about removing Garrison and Gabriel from the trust?" Aurora exhales, finally lifting her gaze toward her mother, not in anger, but heartbreak. "I did." The attorney nods. "What exactly did you hear?" Her voice cracks, but she doesn't stop. "I heard my mom say they don't deserve anything, that they left the family first." Robyn's hands tremble. "That's not what I said," she whispers, her voice breaking. But the judge cuts in sharply. Aurora has the floor. Aurora swallows hard. "Dad said he didn't want to fight. Mom said, then don't, just sign. He said, Christine will explode. And Mom said, she already hates us. What's one more reason?" A chill rolls through the courtroom. Christine closes her eyes, not in triumph, but in sorrow. Every word lands like a wound that will never fully heal. Robyn looks like she's watching her world crumble piece by piece. Her children's voices, the ones she always controlled, now standing against her. The attorney continues gently. "Aurora, were you aware that Garrison made arrangements so that if anything ever happened to him, his share would go to Gabriel?" Aurora nods slowly. "Yes, I saw a message on his iPad once. By accident." He doesn't need to ask another question. The room has already turned. Robyn's attorney shoots up, desperate. "Your Honor! This witness is emotionally compromised." The judge lifts her hand, silencing him. And just like that, the last line of defense collapses. Cody's eyes snap open, panic finally breaking through his arrogance. His mask cracks. Christine looks toward Aurora, grief and gratitude twisting together in her expression. For the first time, truth feels heavier than vengeance. But before the judge can even speak, another voice cuts through the silence. Steady, fragile, but unmistakable. "I need to speak." Every head turns. Janelle Brown rises from the gallery, uncalled, unprompted, but unstoppable. The judge exhales like a woman who knows another storm is already forming. "You may approach." Janelle doesn't go to the witness stand. She walks straight to the center of the courtroom. No makeup, no armor, just the rawness of a mother who's buried too many pieces of her heart. Christine's breath catches. Even Robyn goes still. Janelle turns to the judge. "I knew about the trust change. After it was done." "Who told you?" the judge asks. Janelle's eyes flicker toward Cody. "Cody did." Cody bolts upright. No, I didn't." The judge's gavel cracks once. "Sit down, Mr. Brown." Janelle continues, her voice breaking but firm. "You said Robyn made the call. You said it was easier not to fight her. And when I asked you about Garrison..." She stops, trembling. Cody whispers under his breath, "Jen, don't." But Janelle doesn't stop. "You said..." He chose distance, and this is the consequence. The entire courtroom gasps. Christine looks like she's been hit by a ghost, because grief, when left unspoken, becomes its own kind of evidence. The judge doesn't interrupt. She doesn't need to. The truth is doing all the work now. Janelle's voice lowers, but every word cuts deeper than any accusation. "I don't think you ever understood what you were competing against. Mothers don't feud. We defend even when we fail." And in that moment, the courtroom feels smaller, like the air itself is bending around her truth. There's no yelling, no theatrics, just the quiet, devastating honesty of a mother's love and the wreckage it leaves behind. Robyn stands frozen, like a woman reaching for a lifeline that no longer exists. The truth has come for her, and this time it isn't leaving. What you're about to hear isn't just another courtroom twist. It's the kind of revelation that rewrites everything we thought we knew about the sister-wives universe. Janelle nods once. Yes. The single word lands heavier than any confession could. A tremor runs through the courtroom seating. Not loud, but electric. Shock doesn't shout, it hums. Because sometimes confessions don't wear handcuffs. They wear regret. Mrs. Brown, the attorney asks, did you ever benefit from the revised trust? Janelle's voice wavers. No, yes, no. The math hits harder than the emotion. Robyn looks small now. Not sympathetic, just small. Then Janelle adds something no one expected. Christine isn't here to win. She's here because someone has to say his name out loud, in a room that tried to erase him from the paperwork. The courtroom exhales. Christine doesn't cry. She only nods, one mother acknowledging another. This isn't about money anymore. It's about erasure, and today the erased are being spoken back into existence. But tension to survive must evolve. The doors burst open, not metaphorically, but literally. The bailiff intercepts a man clutching a folder. The judge frowns. What's this? The attorney reads the label aloud. Motion to subpoena financial account activity for Silver Creek Family Holdings. The entire room freezes. Cody, Robyn, and a joint account they swore didn't exist. Robyn turns pale. What the hell is Silver Creek? McKelty whispers from the gallery. Garrison Brown, estate executive. Cody's face drains of color, like a man staring into an open grave. Christine rises slowly, voice cutting through the silence. And in that moment, certainty is louder than screaming. The judge slams the gavel, but the truth is already loose. Cody isn't beside Robyn anymore. He's behind her, 3 rows back, alone. Court is in session. Present your next witness. Christine leans forward. The handwriting samples, she says. Side by side, close-ups of Cody's signature fill the screen. The angles, the pressure points. Inconsistent with known samples of Mr. Brown's writing. She faces the bench. In my expert opinion, Cody Brown did not sign the amended trust. Gasps ripple. The courtroom knows what that means. When handwriting becomes handcuffs, no one walks away clean. The judge examines the document, then clicks a remote. A new slide flashes on the screen. Timestamp 10:02 a.m. It's Robyn. Then another, her signing a withdrawal slip. Robyn's attorney rises, voice trembling. Your Honor, we object. We didn't know about this account. Christine's lawyer steps forward, tears in her eyes. You told me it was a family emergency fund. The gavel cracks again. The court acknowledges newly submitted digital evidence, the judge announces. A flash drive is plugged in. The audio plays, low volume, like a secret not meant to be heard. Then Robyn's voice, unmistakable. Christine's attorney whispers, do we still need to pretend this was confusion? There's no more gray area when guilt records itself in surround sound. Robyn rises, pale and shaking. The judge calls for recess. He doesn't look at her. No one does. When court reconvenes, the air feels different. This isn't strategy anymore. It's impact. Christine returns, calm as a storm before landfall. Behind her, Janelle sits glassy-eyed, moved past anger into something colder. Cody enters last. He doesn't look at Robyn. And Robyn, she looks smaller than ever. Not pitied, just exposed. The judge sits. Court is back in session. Christine's attorney rises again. Your Honor, the next witness has requested anonymity due to age and emotional vulnerability. The minor will testify via remote link. Approved. The lights dim. A screen lowers. Static crackles and then a blurred silhouette appears. Small shoulders. A hoodie 2 sizes too big? The voice, modulated for protection, trembles. My name is Solomon Brown. A shockwave of silence fills the room. No one speaks. Even air feels heavier. When a child becomes evidence, the entire courtroom forgets how to breathe. Christine flinches, because she didn't summon this. Robyn freezes, face draining to ash. The lawyer leans forward carefully. Solomon, you asked to speak to the court. Why? A pause. Because everyone keeps saying they're protecting us. But nobody asks us what we saw. The judge softens. And what did you see? A silence too old for a child to carry. I saw my mom open an envelope before the papers were signed. She said it was the security plan. I asked if it was for school. She said no, This is for money. Grown-up money. Another breath. I saw names crossed off with a pen, not a printer. Robyn half rises, instinct fighting logic. But Solomon continues, voice trembling, unshakable. She told me, "Don't repeat this to Christine or Janelle." And in that single sentence, the room breaks. The room breaks. They won't understand. The words hang in the courtroom like smoke, curling around every listener. The spectators shift in their seats, subtle tremors running through them, as though truth itself has elbows and is pushing against the walls of the room. Secrets, once protective shields, dissolve the moment a child recognizes them for what they are, deceptions dressed in comfort. The attorney leans in, voice soft yet deliberate. "Do you remember any emotions in that moment, Solomon? Fear? Confusion?" Solomon doesn't hesitate. "Not confusion. I knew it was wrong. I was scared. Scared because I understood something no one else did." The judge exhales, a human sound breaking the solemnity, and even the jury seems to inhale sharply, shaken by the weight of the boy's clarity. "Solomon," the attorney continues, "did you ever see your father handle these papers?" "No," Solomon replies, eyes steady. "Dad didn't really look at paperwork unless Mom asked him to hold it for a moment. And Garrison or Gabriel? No. They weren't there. They weren't around." Absence, the courtroom realizes, lands heavier than accusation. The empty spaces between people can be as sharp, as cutting, as the presence of guilt itself. Robyn whispers, "Stop it." The microphone catches it. The judge's single look freezes her in place. The loudest witness in the room hasn't even reached adulthood, yet he has shifted the axis of the case with his words alone. Christine's attorney moves forward. "One more question, Solomon. Did anyone ever explain why the names were changed?" Solomon nods, almost imperceptibly. "Mom said, 'Sometimes loyalty matters more than blood.'" The courtroom seems to crack. Truth snaps, precise and unflinching, and the sound reverberates in hearts and bones. Christine closes her eyes, not in grief this time, but in understanding. Janelle bows her gaze, whispering a silent apology to the floor. Cody sits rigid, jaw clenched, as though trying to swallow guilt like a bitter pill dissolving too slowly. The attorney gestures, finishing the moment. "Thank you, Solomon." The screen fades to black. Silence stretches long enough to leave its own testimony behind. The judge clears her throat. The court acknowledges the emotional weight of this testimony. The minor may step away if needed. No applause, no outburst, only the gravity of revelation settling into every chair, every surface. Christine's attorney rises once more. "Your Honor, we now submit Exhibit 9C. A silver flash drive. Its handwriting precise, December 14th, kitchen table conversation." The bailiff inserts it, static crackling before voices emerge. Robyn's unmistakable tone slices through the room. "If money follows them, we lose control." Cody responds, quieter now, tired. "You're saying the quiet part out loud, Robyn." A beat. Robyn replies, chillingly calm. "They don't have to forgive us. They just have to be uninformed long enough." Gasps ripple through the courtroom like a sudden storm. Strategy and manipulation, spoken aloud, laid bare for all to hear. Robyn shakes her head violently. "That was edited." The attorney doesn't pause. "Your Honor, for the record, this audio was recovered directly from an iCloud account legally tied to the defendant, fully time-stamped and authenticated." The judge closes her eyes for one measured beat, then opens them, verdict energy radiating before a word is spoken. Robyn stands. "I was trying to keep the family together. Nobody talks about that part." Christine finally turns to her. "You used love like currency, Robyn. That's not keeping a family together. That's buying silence." Janelle adds quietly, "and calling it loyalty. Control isn't love. Fear wearing fine jewelry is still fear." Robyn's lawyer scrambles for a sidebar, frantic, but the judge denies it, not out of disregard, but because the court no longer needs clarification. It needs resolution. Christine's attorney rises again. "Your Honor, final exhibit. Federal forensic audit logs tracing diverted funds from Garrison Brown's estate to Silver Creek Family Holdings, LLC. The projector flickers. $12,000, $8,500, $24,900. Each line an indictment. Each withdrawal inked, accountable, undeniable. This isn't victory. This is autopsy. Evidence doesn't heal. It exposes. Cody rises. Not for Robyn, but himself. Too late. The moment has passed like a train that never slows. This wasn't supposed to destroy us. You gave the blueprint to the wrong person, Christine replies softly. Robyn collapses into herself, hiding a face that could be regret or exposure. Then, unplanned, the courtroom doors swing open. Gabriel enters, early 20s, pale and unsteady, eyes locked on Christine. You need the receipt. He drops a thick envelope. Original bank statements, handwritten notes, a coffee-stained, torn receipt. Robyn's handwriting at the top. Move funds before they ask. The courtroom erupts, not in chaos, but in the undeniable weight of truth. The judge gestures, calm but firm. Recess for 20 minutes. Choose your words carefully next. Robyn looks around as if realizing the floor was never beneath her. Christine rises, Janelle follows, Gabriel beside them. Not dramatic, just present. Some wars aren't won with spectacle, they're won with proof. As the courtroom empties, a camera catches Robyn alone, whispering, I thought I was writing our future. Gabriel, walking past, replies softly, You were writing over ours. Silence now is saturation, not shock. Secrets have been spilled. Truth has been unearthed. The court calls personal impact statements. Mykelti, Peyton, Isabel, Janelle, Christine, all voice the pain of betrayal, the weight of stolen time, the depth of manipulation. Finally, the civil judgment. Robyn Brown must repay $50,000 to Garrison's estate, $36,400 to Gabriel. Criminal referral issued. Cody doesn't move. Christine exhales, surrounded by those she fought for, survived with. Later, cameras flash, reporters shout. Christine walks past them with quiet dignity. Robyn exits through a side door, alone. I want a divorce, whispers captured on lens. Cody sits in silence, voicemail playing words that need no reply. Gabriel by his side. Christine raises a glass with family. Acknowledgement, not celebration. Justice isn't healing, but it's the floor you finally stand on to begin. If you were in Christine's shoes, would you have gone to court or buried the secrets forever?